In Canada alone, 30 million tons of garbage a year is thrown away. But where does that end up? Most of it turns up in our local landfills, polluting the air with harmful methane gases. And that is 21 times more potent than CO2.
Some countries like India don't have the luxury of government policies and community action regarding their waste disposal. So why are we taking ours for granted? A simple way to lower our impact is to take our waste and turn it back into soil.
Unlike India, Kamloops does take steps to reduce waste in our local landfills. But how much is Kamloops actually diverting?
We've diverted 8,000, even though it's 8,000 tons or 8 million kilograms, same thing. But 8,000 tons is potentially 8,000 tons of garbage that we could put in there that we can't do anything with. So, and that's our main point here, is to keep stuff out of the landfill.
Many people think composting is just yard waste and leftover fruits and vegetables, but there's so much more you can compost. A few examples include rice, pizza boxes, wine corks, dryer lint, and latex balloons.
The composting site is just strictly yard waste. We do get some like culled fruit in the fall. We discourage that just because it brings in bears and rats and stuff like that. So we try to prevent food from coming here.
From east to west, our country is slowly getting on board with the organic waste being banned from the landfills, and Vancouver's just implemented their ban in 2015. Could we see Kamloops following this movement?
Trying to do a complete ban, it does take some enforcement, but the people all have to be on board with it.
Do you ever think that people would start being more aware with what they do with their garbage and whatnot?
Yes, it takes a while. People here don't like change.
Yeah.
Especially if we brought in a third garbage container. People really get upset that they don't have room for the two right now, let alone we're bringing them a third one.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. It's just change. People don't like it, and especially if they have to pay for it.
An ideal way to reduce waste in Kamloops would be to have a facility like Edmonton has. The Edmonton Composting Facility starts its process in the Integrated Processing Transfer Facility, where waste is sorted and goes into the right place. Trucks then tip their load onto a big floor the size of 2 football fields. It then gets placed on 2 conveyor belts where people remove things that won't decompose. Like electrical cords, tires, soccer balls, and propane tanks. Material from the sorting room is sent through the trommel screens, which is a big part of the sorting process. It is a big round drum with holes in it, and small stuff breaks apart and goes through these holes, where larger stuff exits out the end of the trommel screen for further processing. But we're only halfway there. Next, 3 conveyor belts move uphill in a huge tunnel. Then all the material is delivered to these piles in the composting building.
Then organic garbage material is mixed with biosolids in big mixing machines. The mixed material is treated at Gold Bar Wastewater Treatment Plant and settles as biosolids. The garbage and biosolids mixture then goes through 2 huge mixing drums, longer than a hockey rink and wide enough to fit 2 school buses side by side. It is mixed for 2 days, which gives the compost a good head start. But back to the screening process, where material travels on 2 large conveyor belts, followed by an electromagnetic machine that removes all the ferrous material. Material is then moved into the aeration hall, where most of the composting really takes place for about 1 month. The air is so heavy where the garbage decomposes, and it can reach up to 55 degrees Celsius. Lots of moisture is released from the material, and at the same time causing this hot, humid environment to destroy harmful material in the compost. By drilling into the material, it's fluffed up, allowing air to get to it, as air and water are needed to help the microorganisms live and help break down the garbage in the compost. Material from the aeration hall still needs to be screened 1 more time to remove smaller unwanted materials. After spending a few months outside, what remains but rich, nutritious soil that can be used anywhere from golf courses, parks, and farms.
That state-of-the-art building in Edmonton has diverted 60% of its waste from the local landfills into usable soil. Would Kamloops citizens be willing to adapt this process like Edmonton has?
I think no matter what you do with a new initiative, it's going to be hard to get it into people's minds to want to do it. But no, I think that'd be a great step if the city did something like that, for sure.
So next time, when you're scraping your plate into the garbage, think about where that could end up.